This is a Saturday Morning TVLog from Mickey's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews.
Welcome to another Saturday Morning TVLog, and this time around it's What's New Scooby-Doo, brought to us by Warner Brothers and Hanna-Barbera. Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. Gave my best with the Scooby intro, okay? Anyway, welcome. I'm Dual, the Big D to you. This is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So this week's Saturday Morning TVLog, this is a first. This is the first time a 2000s series will be covered on here, at least just for now. I'll probably go back to the classics after this. Affirmative. Anyway, this week's Saturday Morning TVLog is What's New Scooby-Doo, the ninth incarnation of the Scooby-Doo franchise that started back, way back in 55 years ago in 69. And this is Scooby's comeback series to Saturday mornings in over a decade since a pup named Scooby-Doo. And this is the first series since the foreclosure of Hanna-Barbera Studios and the death of founder William Hanna a year prior. The series was produced by Warner Brothers Animation, even though Hanna-Barbera is credited in the copyright at the end of each episode. Anyway, this series is definitely one of my favorites. If you didn't see my Scooby-Doo series ranking, this ranked as my fourth favorite series. But I had it in third place, but I put the Scooby-Doo show ahead of it just because it's really good in my opinion. But this one is even fun and what have you. Of the Warner Bros. Series, that's the Warner Bros. Produced Scooby series, this is probably the one that tops them all. But you don't have to take my word for it. Mystery Incorporated is a good show as well, as long as I give it another go for it. Anyway, the show follows the format of the original Scooby-Doo Where Are You?, in which Scooby and his companions, Fred, Daphne, Velma, and Shaggy, all back together for the first time since 1984's New Scooby-Doo Mysteries, where they made special appearances. Well, even though Daphne was part of the group. Anyway, and this time they travel to varying locations solving mysteries, and this format is modernized for What's New Scooby-Doo, in which the characters utilize technology that didn't exist at the time the original series aired. The series originally premiered on the WB network as part of the Kids WB block on September 14th, 2002, just a little over a decade after a pub named Scooby-Doo had ended, but it was still being rerun until 92, and after that it was gone. Anyway, this also came out after the success of the live-action Scooby-Doo movie, which came out in the summer of that same year. It's also the first television series in which we have the characters voiced by old and new ones. Which I'll get to that in a little bit, okay? This is also the first Scooby series where Scooby's not voiced by his original voice actor, Don Masick, who passed away in 97. Anyway, this show became a big hit and what have you for the WB network and their Kids WB block, so I gotta say, I enjoyed this. Now, I'll go ahead and mention the voices as I get into the production notes and what have you. Usually I don't do this, but since I talked about my revisited Scooby-Doo Where Are You vid, I want to talk about it anyway. For this incarnation of the franchise, Frank Welker, who returns to voice Fred this time, took over as the voice of Scooby-Doo. This was the first time he would do that, replacing Sky Inez, excuse me. Well, Don Masick and Sky Inez, who of course voiced Scooby in the made-for-TV films released made-to-video films, excuse me. I'm getting myself tongue-tied. From 1998 to 2001. Casey Kasem returned to voice Shaggy after he hadn't been heard as that character since a pub named Scooby-Doo. It would also be the final series where he would voice the character, but however, he would continue to voice Shaggy in the direct-to-video Scooby films until he retired in 2009. Now, of course, however, Kasem would voice continued to voice characters in the later Scooby-Doo series, which were Shaggy and Scooby-Doo Get a Clue, and of course Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. Now, Gray DeLisle, who was already making it big by voicing characters on programs like The Fairly Odd Parents and several other cartoons, returned as the voice of Daphne after recently voicing the character in Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase and the animated TV special that aired on Cartoon Network a year prior, Night of the Living Doo, which I don't seem to recall that one seeing that much, but I do know it's like in Scooby Doo movies and what have you. And taking on the role of Velma from B.J. Ward is none other than Natalie Green of TV's The Facts of Life herself, Mindy Kaling. Now, the series itself is a modernized version of the original Scooby-Doo Where Are You series. It takes place in the 21st century and is more realistic than the previous, more cartoony incarnations, and features music from contemporary genres and all new original sound effects to replace the classic sound effects from the Hanna-Barbera series. Even a distinctive thunderclap sound that was used frequently on older series was rarely used on the series. A laugh track was only used for one episode, which I'll get to that in a little bit. Also, the classic formula was also frequently parodied throughout, in a manner similar to the recent series, A Pup Named Scooby-Doo. And it also included the line, and I would have gone away with it too if it weren't for you meddling kids. Although there were some slight changes, well, depending on who they unmasked, but anyway. As such, it returns to the formulaic version of humans in monster disguises, rather than the real monsters and ghosts of the prior four direct-to-video films or the 1980s versions that preceded them. Now, of course, the show was produced by Warner Bros. Animation, the successor to Warner Bros. Cartoons, which had this time absorbed Hanna-Barbera Productions the previous year after being bought by Time Warner from Turner Broadcasting System since their merger in October of '96. As is the standard for other Hanna-Barbera properties classics, the studio is still credited as a copyright owner, and Joseph Barbera, co-founder and co-chairman of the studio, served as an executive producer alongside Sanders Schwartz, since William Hanna died a year before this. Wing Film Productions, Dongwoo Animation Company Limited, and Lao Animation contributed some of the animation for the series. It is the first Scooby series to be produced in 16:9. Well, it's hard to say the two dots in widescreen, although it was cropped in 4:3 when broadcast. The theme song was done by the Canadian rock band Simple Plan, just right after they actually made it with their debut album, which was released, which, if I'm not mistaken, was released. Yes, which was released earlier that same year, after they had already had done some tunes like "I'm Just a Kid" and "Addicted" and "Perfect." They also actually appeared in an episode, as a matter of fact. In the episode Simple Plan and the Invisible Madman. Now, two of their songs appeared in Chasings. One of them was "I'd Do Anything," which was actually one of the songs that actually put them on the map, as a matter of fact. Yes. It would be their second hit single. And it was featured in the episode "It's Mean, It's Green, It's the Mystery Machine." And the song in which they appear in, I just mentioned, they perform their song "You Don't Mean Anything," which also came from their debut album as well. It also had the song "The Worst Day Ever," as it served as the song the band plays during a scene where they practice in a scene where they are in concert. Also, they contributed to the second live-action Scooby-Doo film, Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed, in 2004. Now, each season included one holiday themed special along with 13 regular episodes. So there was an overall total of 42 episodes. I've seen them all and what have you. The first season special in season 1 was a Scooby-Doo Christmas. The next year was a Scooby-Doo Halloween, and then after a slight hiatus, it came back, and in season 3 was a Scooby-Doo Valentine. So anyway, airing for 3 seasons on the WB network as a half-hour program before it being put on an indefinite hiatus in 2005. After most of the third season was aired, although the last episode was actually aired on Cartoon Network, who later got the off-network rights to re-air the show after it was shown on Kids WB. Anyway, Cartoon Network continued to rerun the show along with its sister channel Boomerang. It has been shown worldwide as well on other versions of Cartoon Network and Boomerang as well. So anyway, I really loved What's New Scooby-Doo when I first saw it. It was such a fun-filled show, and it really brought the feel to it, and what have you. Now, aside from some of the people we get to see and what have you, now the main characters, we do get to see some other characters and what have you. Some of them were recurring actually. Those among some of those included Melbourne O'Reilly, who was based on Indiana Jones and the late great Steve Irwin, the Crocodile Hunter, who's voiced by Steve Bloom. Let's see. And Gibby Norton, a nerd who has a crush on Velma, voiced by Eddie Deason. You may remember him from the two Grease movies. He played that geeky dude named Eugene. He also later had gone to voice this nerdy character on Kim Possible on Disney Channel. He recently voiced Mandark on Dexter's Laboratory as well. Let's see. Burr Batson, who races against the gang in a couple episodes, voiced by James Arnold Taylor, who would later go on to be the second voice of the titular character of Ratchet in the Ratchet and Clank video game series, and also voiced the character of Johnny Test, which would later be a hit for the WB network, but before it changed to the CW. Also, we would also have the Hex Girls after they had appeared in the second direct-to-video Scooby film, Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost, which I'll be reviewing next week. Which they were done voiced by Jennifer Hale, Kimberly Brooks, and Jane Wiedlin from the Go-Go's. I'll tell you who they are when I get to them. They also, let's see, had Mr. B, who is the owner of these 6 puppies, the Secret Six, Maze, Flax, Jingle, Knox, 14 Carat, Bling Bling. He's voiced by Jeff Bennett, who would later go on to voice Dr. Fives in the next Scooby series, Shaggy and Scooby-Doo Get a Clue. He also voiced several other characters. I know another character he voiced was Clay on another Kids WB show, and that was Shaolin Showdown. Anyway, yep. I'm gonna say this has a lot of others, and they also do have some special guest appearances. Aside from Simple Plan, they also had the Smash Mouth appear. Rest in peace, Steve Harwell. And even Lindsay Pagano, the teen superstar, who, if you don't know who that was the gal who was best known as the AOL girl. If you remember her song "Everything You Are," look that song up if you don't seem to recall it, or try and look up some of those old AOL commercials. You'll know what that sounds like when you see it, okay, or when you hear it. But now you get the point. Anyway, I think this show is such fun, and I really do like it. Now, they did have a few slight changes to some of the wardrobe on the Scooby Gang. Now, Fred doesn't have his ascot on like before. He wears just a shirt with white and blue stripe. Well, that's why we have blue stripes, you know. And And same thing with Daphne. She doesn't wear that I'm not sure. I don't know if that's considered be. I don't know if ladies wear ass cuts or not, but she don't have that on the thing around her neck either. Just that they're pink or purple dress. I almost said pink. My mistake. Anyway, now Velma looks the same as before. Same with Shaggy. But anyway, Frank Welker does an exceptionally good job in voicing Scooby Doo. I gotta give him credit for that. That's why he's one of my favorites. During its run, the show later got released on DVD in season releases. Now, originally in the US and in the UK, they released separate volumes though. However, in 2007, though, in the US, Warner Home Video released the complete series in 3 separate sets. I don't believe there's an actual complete series set, but all 3 seasons are available separately now. I think you can still get them for a good price, but if you can't find them for a good price, no problem. You can stream the full series. You can check. You can find it on maybe. I'm not sure if Netflix still has it. If they don't, then it's okay. You can find the full series on Max and Tubi. Tubi recently got the series, so I will say this is really cool, and I do like What's New Scooby Doo for what it had to offer. So anyway, let me go ahead and give you a look at the characters just for fun, just in case. Now you can see there's just a wee bit of differences in some of the wardrobe. Now you can see Fred doesn't have his ass caught anymore, and he wears a different shirt. It's white with a blue stripe right in the front and two on the and one on each sleeve. So, and you can see what I said about Daphne though, but it was hard to describe. Okay, and I did see something else. There is actually a complete series DVD set available from More Home Video as well. Yes, and yes, you can find it for a good. You can get it for a good price. You can get it for about $20 or less. So you shouldn't have any trouble finding that. So overall, I think What's New Scooby Doo is worth looking into. Seriously, if you like the original Scooby Doo, Where Are You? I think you'll feel right at home with What's New Scooby Doo. You won't be disappointed. I think you'll really like it. I mean, the chasings do have songs and what have you, but anyway, I really do love what this had to offer. So anyway, that's gonna do it. I definitely would recommend this series to you. So, what did you think of this? Have you ever watched What's New Scooby Doo? If so, let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, consider clicking the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel. Make it grow and make the views grow. Tell your friends about my channel. Give them to know me. Share my vids with your friends if you wish. And again, help my channel grow. I am getting a little bit more, but it's still not strong enough. But anyway, and later tonight, get ready because I'll be giving you a spoiler-free review of Venom: The Last Dance. Also, be on the lookout for an out-of-theater reaction as well. Okay. So if you like this, check out my Saturday Morning TV logs of these other Scooby-Doo series. In the upper left-hand corner is my Saturday Morning TV log revisited on the original Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? In the upper right-hand corner is Saturday Morning TV log on the second series, the new Scooby-Doo movies from 1972, and the bottom left-hand corner is the Saturday Morning TV log on the Scooby-Doo show, which it originally aired in 76 as part of the Scooby-Doo Dynamite Hour, and then later All-Star Live Olympics and All-Stars. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., as well as the Saturday Morning TV log, then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching, and next week's Saturday Morning TV log is... Help! It's the Hair Bear Bunch! So until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.